Welcome to the Copa de Bourbon 2024. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Uh, as you know, the soccer tournament, Copa America, starts tomorrow, June 20th, with Canada playing Argentina. Hail Messi. Uh, I have decided to make a Copa de Bourbon of single barrels under $60 and under 113 proof. We're going to run a tournament in the format of the Copa America. Here are the rules. I have four groups: Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. They are categorized by price. So the first one will be around $60. The bottom one will be under 40, most likely, and the two in between will be in between 60 and 40. They will compete in a round robin tournament to see who advances to the next round. The top two of the four advance to the quarterfinal, as the Copa America soccer tournament does. Soccer people will understand this. If you don't, follow along closely. Okay, now the only stipulation, just like in the World Cup, if there's a bourbon from the same distillery that I have, I tend not to put them in the same group. For instance, I have a John J. Bowman in Group C. I have an Eagle Rare in Group D. I have a benchmark in Group A. So they're not competing against each other in the preliminary groups. Also, I have a Henry McKenna in Group A, Evan Williams in Group C, Rebel in Group D, and Ezra Brooks in Group B. So I'm trying not to have them compete each other in the first round. Maybe if they get to later rounds, if they get past that, then they can compete against each other. So once we get the two qualifiers from the first round, they go to the quarterfinal, and then from the quarterfinal, they will get to a semifinal and final, and then we will determine the best of these 16 single barrel bourbons under $60 and under 113 proof. Now, I already announced these bourbons in my bottle haul yesterday, but I must say, there are a few single barrels not in the competition. I just couldn't find them, or they were too proofy. So, Knob Creek single barrel, 120 proof, way above the proof level. I don't think that would be a fair comparison if they were going against an Evan Williams 86.8 proof. Blue Note Juke Joint, 124 proof, $54. Sounds like a great deal, but it wouldn't really fare well in this competition. The only bourbon that I really think that would fit this competition that I couldn't find 6 months ago, I could have found it everywhere. Elijah Craig Private Barrel, 94 proof. I didn't find it this week. It would have been perfect in this competition because it's a great bourbon at a great price, $34. Are you kidding me? 9 years, 8-year bourbon, 94 proof from Elijah Craig. That is a great bourbon, and I wish it were competing here, but I just couldn't find it here in the Central Jersey area or in upstate New York, where the two places where I was looking for this week. All right, so that's it for the rules. Now, the purpose. Why am I doing this video? This is not my jam. I am not a whiskey tuber. No, I'm a bass guitar player. I'm a soccer coach. I'm a hockey coach. Okay, I do love bourbon. There's no doubt about that. And I do watch the channels and have been for the past 2 years. And here in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area, there's a great community here. Central Jersey Bourbon Society, fantastic people. But my purpose for creating this video and this tournament format is to prepare the bourbon community for the World Cup in 2026. It's coming to the United States, Mexico, Canada, and it's the largest sporting venue in the world. A billion people plus will be watching this video, watching the competition intently. Now, I need the whiskey community to create a tournament of that magnitude. Okay, Copa America happens in the odd 2 years between World Cups, so it's happening right now, starting tomorrow. So that's why I'm doing this. It's a small tournament. There are 4 groups, 4 teams in each group. We'll go from there. But the World Cup is 8 teams, 8 groups. So again, my entire purpose is to introduce this concept to bigger whiskey tubers, to be prepared to make a huge tournament, a huge nonsense, a huge fuss about the World Cup in 2026, and make a huge bourbon tournament. So those billion viewers watching the soccer on TV will watch your YouTube channels and become interested in what we do. I love the March Madness tournaments. They are great, but they are one-offs. If you have an Elijah Craig barrel proof C923 going against a Stag 22B in an early round, and one of them gets knocked out, they're done. Okay, I like that. I like the Advent tournaments, same thing. Okay, but in this instance, in this tournament format, the group stage, it's a round robin of 4 teams, and the top 2 advance. So even if they lose, even if a team loses a matchup, they will be the second seed and will advance. So therefore, like an Elijah Craig A123, or I have a 22B and an A123 right behind me right here, both fantastic. They have a second chance. And if someone gets a lucky draw and gets into a certain, it's just one of those things where there's a second chance. And so when the quarterfinals, the finals, semifinals, and the finals happen, there's a very good chance it'll be legit. It'll be legit because they will have earned it there. No one can sneak into the finals. There'll be no sneaking in. All right. So without further delay, I don't like to talk. I really don't. Now, one more caveat before we go. I think right now I'm just doing single barrels. My parameters in this tournament are single barrels, under $60, under 113 proof. When the World Cup comes around in 2026, I think you need to go for the best. We're talking George D. Staggs. We're talking Old Carters. We're talking big bourbons. What is the best of the best? Because that's what the World Cup soccer tournament is all about. What country is the best of the best soccer tournament in that time? So let's move on. I have the groups all set here. Let me introduce them to you. I'll start with Group D, since that is nearest to me. Bottom in the group is this right here. We have Eagle Rare, 10-year. Next in that group is Rebel, Distiller's Collection. After that, we've got Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select, Little Family Selection, and the top dollar in that Group D is Wilderness Trail. That is Group D. Now, funny thing here, let me consult my graphics designer and get the standings updated for you. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, Group D. These will be updated as we compete. Moving on to Group C. On the bottom of Group C, we have Evan Williams, Single Barrel. Next, inexpensive, $17.92 at $49.99. Moving up the ladder, we have Kentucky Spirit, Wild Turkey, Group C, second seed, and the top one at $59.99, John J. Bowman Single Barrel. Moving on to Group B. The lowest cost in that group would be Four Roses Single Barrel. The next one would be Ezra Brooks Distiller's Collection. Just under $50. New Riff Single Barrel, 106 proof. And at $59.99 coming in, we have Baker's 7. 8 years, 6 months, 107 proof. All right, moving on. Might have to reach for this. Group A is Benchmark Single Barrel. Next up, we have Clyde Mays 5-year, 102 proof. Next up, Russell's Reserve Single Barrel at $57, and our top dollar in Group A would be McKenna. Henry McKenna, 10-year. Again, found it for $59.99, which is a bargain if you ask me. So here is the, again, consulting my graphic artist management team. Here's Group C. Group B. And Group A. These will be updated as we go along. So the next video that I do, we are going to do the Group A matchups. Okay, so that will be McKenna 10 versus Benchmark, and Russell's Reserve versus Clyde Mays 5-year, 102 proof. So here we go. The Copa de Bourbon is officially begun. Please, whiskey tubers, take this and run with it. Run with it. The World Cup 2026 is 2 years away. We have plenty of time for that. Hey, why don't you join in at the Copa America? Why don't you join in at the Euro 2024? I'm watching games all day. If you have the resources, I know you have the bourbons because I have 20 bourbons in my collection. You have 700 bourbons in your collections. So please run with this, make it huge. Okay, all I wish is the best for all of you. So be kind, be free, and be